Good day, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Art with Mr. Malik. I'm your host, Mr. Malik. You guessed it. On today's episode of Art with Mr. Malik, we're going to be going over doing art on found objects. And what I mean by found objects are things you just found around outside, nature, your house, things like that. Things that people kind of throw away that they don't really want anymore. Those are kind of found objects. And so today, I want to introduce you to my series of found objects called Brick City Project. And what I have here are some bricks, regular bricks that I found from around my town, which is very old, one of the third oldest countries in the city of Newark, New Jersey. And I started painting scenes of Newark on the bricks. So different scenes and things like that, I started painting on the bricks to capture the history of the bricks, to tell my message as well. And so today, I'm going to just go over what that is and how I got there. Ready? Come on down. So as you can see, what I have here is just a regular old brick. And what I discovered about bricks is they seem they look alike, but they really don't. There's companies that make different size bricks out of different materials, and so there's a whole bricking industry that I just never was aware of until I started doing this project. And so what I did was, like I said, I went around town and collected these old bricks from abandoned buildings and things like that and repurposed them into art pieces. Not only are they a part of history, but they're now a part of art world, right? And so, again, my goal was to paint different scenes on top of it. This is the museum of here in town. I have here the Portuguese festival that is here also in my city. And then just, again, painting historic scenes on these bricks. That way I capture the moment and capture the history of the time period, and now transform this brick into a regular old thing that you would ignore in the street into a now fine art piece. Take a look at this one. This is my town city hall. The same concept and idea, just to kind of capitalize the history of the city by documenting visually what the city currently looks like. What I wanted to show you also is kind of how I got there, right? So I really start off with a regular old brick, right? And I love it because it has different characters as far as the dents and grooves. So I decide on which side I want to paint on first. I clean it up as much as I can, wash it off, kind of get rid of all the dirt and grind. And then I come in with my painter's knife, which I have here, and some gesso, which you can get in any art store. That just talks. This gesso is basically a covering, almost like a primer, but it's thicker, so you can create different layers to it. And what I do is basically this: come in and I start to create a flat, smooth layer. This is almost like peanut. It has a texture of like peanut butter. You see how thick this is? Then I can really smooth this out over the surface. And by doing so, I create another surface that's now smooth and white and easier to paint on, right? So that's the first step of doing my brick project. And I carefully come in and make sure I get all the way to the edges and smooth this out as much as possible, all the way over. And maybe on the next episode, I'll show you guys an example of what happens when I paint the bricks. But for today, I just wanted to show you, introduce you to the series, and also just show you a quick demonstration of how I prepare the brick before I do paint it. So as you can see, I don't know if you can see it at home, but each stroke creates different textures. So I'm trying to smooth it out as much as I can so that when I paint it, it's a pretty smooth, flat surface. But that's the basic idea of it. You do this as much as you want. I can let this dry and add another coat if I would like. But I think I'm okay right now. clean off my knife. And that's how I prepare my brick for painting. Voila. And it was just a basic white brick right now. But again, it will turn out to be one of these beauties soon. And again, I can also do stencils where I can create letters or words that you can do also on your brick. So it depends on you, what you want to do on your found object. So I encourage you to go outside and find some things. You can use wood, paper, cardboard, empty cereal boxes, things like that you can easily turn into a canvas for some art pieces. So I encourage you to try to do so and see what you can come up with. Please share what you discover and what you paint with me online in the comments, or send me an email. And so for today, this is my lesson, and thanks for stopping by. Mr. Malik. Stay tuned for the next episode. Peace.